Look at that empty space. Where is Sunny's 20-gallon tall? Well, it's right now in the bathroom. We are going to be removing the old gravel just because of the amount of clay that I used, and it got all mixed up with the gravel, and every time I touched anything or even looked at the tank the wrong way, there would just be clay everywhere, and it was just so annoying. Well, this looks like a hot mess. So, I pulled out all the plants because I want to replant the jungle val. All of the clay that was in the bottom layer came out, and it's a mess. I removed Sunny and his friends. They're kind of hanging out right here for now. I gotta turn off the filter right now so that it can settle a bit more. I know it would have been cooler to make a whole, like, how to set up a 20-gallon community tank, but the thing is, I don't really have a plan for this. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is go the easy route, get some of the spare black gravel I have, put that in the tank, put everything back kind of in a way that looks okay, and that's going to be it for now. It's not going to be escape, it's not going to be anything fancy, so I didn't think it'd be worth making an actual tutorial about, but I will show you bits and pieces of how I've been working on this. So I'm filling up the 20-gallon tall. I put the filter light heater back in here. I did need some new plants, so I ordered some from Rob from Philip Aquatics. I do have to disclose that I did get these for free since I got the channel sponsorship, which I'm very, very fortunate and I appreciate very, very much. And I also got some shrimp remineralizer. Oh my gosh, that is a mouthful. I really want to try doing RO water with my shrimp so I can hopefully have some better success because I'm still learning, trying my bestest. So the plants I got were quite simple actually. Other than my adorable moss ball, the other plants that I got were some red crypt Wenditi, as well as green crypt Wenditi. I'm totally reading this off of the order sheet, as well as the Amazon sword. Guys, I really have to learn my plants. I keep forgetting all the names, but you know what? Let's do some plant ASMR. Ooh, those crinkle sounds are so satisfying. Cleaning off the leaves of the Amazon sword. I know this is kind of weird for those of you who don't know what ASMR is, and I'm probably really bad at it, but it's okay. Just try to relax and listen to the sounds of the fish room. And I hope you don't hear the lawnmower outside. I am really failing at this in so many ways, but it's okay. Enjoy the plant sounds, the sounds of the air pump, the sounds of the fish room. I think there's a truck outside. This is progressively getting worse. Yep, that's a garbage truck that you hear. This is no longer relaxing. That's really loud, and there's duckweed. Oh boy. I think for my first ever ASMR attempt, this is a really bad fail. But it's okay, we tried. Let's go back to the normal video. That kind of worked out in a weird way. It was probably the world's worst ASMR out there, but it was funny, so I left it. I was actually going to re-record it, but I thought about it. But the fact that the dumb truck decided to make all this noise right as I wanted to do my one-time ASMR attempt, I thought it was funny. But anyways, here I'm going to be attaching some stuff to my driftwood. I should be narrating what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. I'm cutting off some roots. Make sure you do not cut off the rhizome, which is the chunky part of the Anubias, because that's super important to the plant. You can trim roots because roots will grow back, but you leave the chunky part. And I'm here kind of trimming some more roots that were sticking out, and I realized that instead of having to tie my Anubias, I could just shove it gently in a crevice. And you can do that sometimes with driftwood. Just find a location that's like somewhat snug, but not tight so the plant won't break, and it'll work out. Oh, now the cicada's screaming at me. We have all the sounds of nature today. But at the top, I am tying some moss with some thread. Now there's a couple different ways you can attach things to driftwood. You can use fishing line, which is more permanent in terms of the fishing line won't really dissolve, so you have to eventually remove the fishing line. You can use thread, which is kind of more temporarily. It'll last a couple months in your tank, but over time, eventually it will dissolve and go away on its own, as it's kind of like a biodegradable material. Or you can use super glue, but make sure that when you use super glue, you use the gel-based kind. That one, while it does make things kind of easier, sometimes if you do mess up and your moss or whatever you're attaching comes off, you're gonna get this like white blob on your driftwood, which I find kind of annoying because the only way to get rid of it is you have to actually like use a knife and scrape it off, which changes the driftwood. So that's kind of random fact here. Here I'm tying the Subwassertang. I'm saying it so wrong. It is a German word. This is actually not a moss, even though it looks like a moss. It is part of the fern family, and it is also a very ancient self-cloning plant. So it just clones itself, and the same plant will have the same DNA, but different Subwassertangs will have different DNAs. It's kind of weird. I just started learning about this, watched a bunch of videos, and I'm kind of figuring out. Oh, here is the rhizome. I'm pointing at it. That is the part you don't touch. It is the chunky part, and we have to keep it safe. That's my little random tutorial. So while I'm in the process of working on Sunny's tank, I wanted to give you a cool tip. So all of the driftwood that was with the Anubias is in here temporarily from this tank, and it's here for a reason. It was covered in hairgrass algae, and then I put it in here with the Placidochromis, and they ate all of the hairgrass algae. They did an amazing job. They didn't touch the Anubias. They would probably devour any other plant because, for example, I like to eat duckweed and everything else I throw in them, but they don't like Anubias. So they cleaned it up for me. The placos that are in here kind of cleaned up the wood. So now I can remove this and add this to my planter tank, and it's kind of like almost brand new with the help of my Placidochromis. So helpful. Here is what I have so far. I did these both tanks. I'm pretty happy with how this one looks so far. I don't know how I feel about this one. I kind of don't like it, but the plants do need some time to grow in. So this might end up being a nice tank. Who knows? I'm going to give it a chance. If I don't like it in a few months, I'll just redo it. That's okay. And then this one, I'm kind of cool with the way it looks for now. I'm just happy that I don't have to deal with the overcomplicated gravel. And it's a pretty simple, like low maintenance tank now, which is better for me because I like simple tanks. It's definitely what I would consider a low tech tank minus the Phoenix Light. The Phoenix Light would technically make it higher tech because that is a fancier, slightly more expensive light. But everything in here, I have very easy to grow plants. There's no CO2. There's no, besides the fertilizer that you kind of squirt in, there's no other fertilizers in here. Very simple. This is definitely something that you can make yourself. I know that there's a lot of beautiful and inspirational tanks on YouTube, and some of them are really fancy, but those can be a little intimidating sometimes. You can make something simple, or you can make something fancy. It's really up to you. Whatever makes you happy. In my case, this tank makes me happy for now, I think. I like it, but I'm not a huge fan of this one yet. It might grow on me. And yes, there is an orange rock in here. I'm starting to go on a weird phase with weird colored rocks. I think that's the like beginner fish keeper and the like more intermediate fish keeper blending together. Like the more intermediate, I want to try more plant types. I want to make my setups a little better and to look like actual scapes. But on the other hand, I can't let go of all the like beginner pet keeper things like colorful rocks. Down here I have colorful gravel in my divided Betta tank. I just can't let these things go. I like them. Could I use both? I think so. I think you can use little bits of whatever you want because in the end, your fish room is your fish room and your tanks are yours, and you should choose whatever you like and whatever makes you happy as long as it doesn't affect the fish in any negative way. Then I think it's okay. And on that note, I'm going to go back to working on these tanks because I do have to clean the glass and do more stuff, but I hope that you enjoyed seeing this mini update, and I guess this week is work and redo your tanks week, I guess. That's what it's going to be. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, That is too close, Sunny. That is way too close.